Motivational speech in Mike Johnson. Style, based on the title. Here is the fool you thought rejection meant you weren't good enough. You assumed it was because you lacked something, looked wrong, said the wrong thing, didn't measure up. But that's not what rejection is. Rejection isn't a verdict. It's a course correction. It's not life saying you failed. It's life whispering, not here, keep going. You see, rejection isn't meant to destroy you. It's meant to direct you. It's a divine filter. It clears out what was never meant to last, never meant to build you, never meant to be part of your future. Sometimes the closed door was never your door to begin with. Sometimes the silence was your answer. Sometimes the distance was your protection, but most people, they get rejected and stop. They collapse inward. They start believing lies. I'm not lovable. I'm not valuable. I must not be enough. But what if rejection isn't about your worth? What if it's about alignment? What if you're not being pushed away, but pulled towards something stronger, deeper, more aligned with who you're becoming? Every time someone walks away, every time you get passed over, every time you're told no, you're not being punished, you're being positioned, because that rejection, it's revealing something. It's protecting you from attachments you would have settled for. It's preventing you from calling chaos comfort. It's pruning your path, making room for the real. Rejection wakes up the warrior in you. It teaches you to stop begging. It teaches you to stop explaining. It teaches you to sit with silence and still stand tall. It's only when you've been rejected that you start listening to your own voice again. You stop asking for permission. You stop trying to fit into places that were too small for you from the start. You stop knocking and start building. Because the truth is, rejection isn't just redirection, it's refinement, it's resistance that builds the muscle, it's the universe asking, are you ready for what's next? And not everyone deserves access to you. Not every opportunity is aligned with you, not every yes is worth receiving, so when you feel rejected, pause, don't react, don't internalize, and don't shrink. Step back and recognize what just happened. The wrong thing removed itself. And if you're wise enough to let go of what wasn't yours, you'll finally make room for what is. People are always going to talk. They'll misunderstand you, underestimate you, project their insecurities onto you. They'll have opinions about your moves, your silence, your standards. But here's the truth you need to burn into your mind. Their opinion is not your responsibility. Your response is your power. You don't control their perception. You control your posture. You can't stop them from rejecting you, but you can stop yourself from begging to be accepted. You can't stop them from gossiping, but you can stop yourself from needing their validation. That's where the shift begins. That's where true control starts. Not in changing the world outside of you, but in mastering the world within you. Most people give their power away in the first 5 seconds of discomfort. They react out of ego, out of fear, out of insecurity. They hear a criticism and they shrink. They feel judged and they defend. They're misunderstood and they over-explain. But what if you didn't? What if you didn't justify yourself? What if you didn't chase closure? What if you didn't flinch when they walked away? That's real power, emotional sovereignty. Not being controlled by who accepts you or who walks away. Not letting every opinion drag you out of alignment with who you are. Because opinions don't define you, patterns do. And when your pattern is silence over reaction, clarity over chaos, discipline over impulse, you become untouchable. Stoic strength isn't loud, it's still. It's a man who knows who he is and doesn't need the world to agree. They think silence is weakness. Let them. They think your boundaries are ego. Let them. They think walking away was a loss. Let them. Because if you react to every distraction, you become part of the circus. If you respond to every opinion, you lose focus on the mission. And if you're always proving yourself, you haven't mastered yourself. Power doesn't prove, it simply is. So the next time someone tests you, pause, breathe, ask yourself, what outcome am I creating with my response right now? And if your response doesn't protect your peace, guard your vision, or reflect your values. Don't give it, because real strength is not how loud you are. It's how calm you remain. You're not here to be understood. You're here to be unshakable. Let their opinion float. Let your response anchor. Everyone wants to influence the world, to change minds, shift energy, win respect, but they forget the first battlefield isn't them, it's you. Because reverse psychology isn't about clever tricks or manipulation. It's about mastering your energy so deeply that the world begins to respond to your silence more than others' noise. Inner control is the root, not just self-control over actions, but over your attention, your presence, your emotions, your need to be understood. When you walk into a room and don't need to be noticed, that's power. When you let them underestimate you, and you don't correct them, that's control. When you stay calm in the face of provocation, when you don't explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you, that's reverse psychology at its highest frequency, because now they're wondering, why didn't he react? Why didn't he chase? Why is he so still while the rest of us seek approval? That question. The mystery of your calm becomes the influence. Understand this. When you're internally grounded, you no longer need to convince anyone externally. They pull away, you hold your frame, they test your limits, you don't flinch, they withhold attention, you don't beg, you build. Reverse psychology is not about pretending you don't care. It's about actually needing nothing from them to feel whole. Because when your value isn't dependent on their recognition, your energy becomes unpredictable and irresistible. They expect you to chase, you lean back, they expect you to prove, you pause, they expect you to fold, you rise. And in that moment, you've flipped the entire script, not because you controlled them, but because you controlled yourself. This is what Marcus Aurelius lived by. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The most dangerous man in any room is the one who's already accepted that he doesn't need the room, because once you stop chasing the outcome starts chasing you. That's not manipulation. That's magnetism. That's sovereignty. That's the power of inner control. They told you to be kind. They told you to be giving. They told you to always care, but they never told you the truth. Care too much and they'll use it. Care too little and they'll chase it. This isn't about cruelty. This is about composure. This is about recognizing that in a world addicted to attention, the rarest currency is indifference, not fake apathy, not forced coldness, but a genuine detachment from anything that doesn't align with your standards, your values, your peace. Because when you stop reacting to their games, you break the game. When you stop explaining yourself, you stop being controlled by the need to be understood. Let them wonder what you're thinking. Let them feel the distance. Let them sit in the silence you didn't bother to fill, that space. That's where your power lies. People aren't influenced by the one who speaks the most. They're influenced by the one who doesn't need to speak. The one whose energy doesn't shift when they're ignored, the one who doesn't flinch when others pull away, because indifference is not weakness, it's restraint. It's knowing you could chase, but choosing not to. It's seeing everything and responding to nothing. It's watching their manipulation bounce off your peace like wind against stone. When you master indifference, you shift the dynamic. Suddenly, they feel your absence more than they valued your presence. Suddenly, your silence speaks louder than your affection ever did. Suddenly, your boundaries become the thing they can't get past, and the thing they respect the most. Influence isn't built through overexposure, it's built through selective access. The less you give, the more they notice. The less you care, the more they reflect. The less you react, the more powerful your presence becomes. People are addicted to control. When they realize they can't move you emotionally, they question themselves. They rethink their approach. They lose the upper hand. And that's when influence begins, so stop being so accessible. Stop explaining your value. Stop responding to every shift in their mood. If your peace can be stolen, your power can be controlled. But when you're truly indifferent-rooted, still, whole, you become unreachable to those who thrive on chaos. Let them feel your absence. Let them sit with your silence. Let your indifference teach them the lesson your words never could. Because real power doesn't perform, it withdraws. You don't really know who you are until someone walks away from you, until something you wanted denies you, until the thing you thought you were ready for says no. Rejection stings, but if you're awake, if you're present, it won't just sting, it'll sharpen you, because rejection isn't just disappointment. It's information, it's pressure, it's truth. It shows you what you thought you needed. It shows you how attached you were to the outcome. It reveals whether your worth was internal, or if you were renting it from someone else's approval, and if you're brave enough to sit in that discomfort without numbing it. You'll find something deeper than acceptance. You'll find clarity. Every time you're rejected, a false identity falls off, the part of you that was seeking permission, The part of you that believed validation was value. The part of you that thought attention was love. That version dies, and something more powerful is born in its place. The man who doesn't need to be chosen to know he's valuable. Rejection carves away what was never truly you. It takes away the noise, the illusion, the masks you wore to be liked. It forces you to look in the mirror and ask, without their approval, without their praise, without their presence, who am I really? Most people avoid that question their whole life. But rejection makes you face it head on, and in that confrontation, you don't lose yourself. You find yourself. This is where identity is forged, not in the yes, but in the no, not in the applause, but in the silence after the stage clears. Because when you're rejected and you don't fold, when you're abandoned and you don't chase, when you're excluded and you still rise, you stop needing the world to tell you who you are, you become the voice. You become the truth, you become the source. Rejection doesn't mean you weren't good enough. It means that version of you, the one who wanted their acceptance more than his own peace, was never meant to last. So let rejection hurt. Let it humble you, but more importantly, let it shape you, because rejection is not a punishment. It's a scalpel, precise, brutal, honest, cutting away the excess, leaving behind what's real. And every time it happens, you become less influenced, more defined, less fragile, more rooted, less desperate to be loved, more dangerous in your self-respect. So don't curse the rejection, bless it. Because every time you were pushed away, you were pulled deeper into the man you're supposed to become. You don't have to clap back, you don't have to explain, you don't need to correct every false story they tell about you. Because your silence, if it's rooted in strength, will echo louder than any reaction ever could. In a world that runs off noise, drama, commentary, and chaos, silence is uncomfortable, and that's exactly why it works. Because when you go silent, people fill in the blanks, and nothing is more powerful than the uncertainty they feel when you don't respond. They expect you to explain yourself, you stay still. They expect you to prove your worth. You walk away, they expect you to retaliate. You let time do what ego never could, reveal the truth. That's not weakness, that's discipline. See, most people aren't strong enough to be silent. Their ego demands the last word. Their pride craves the reaction, but the second you react to manipulation, you've already lost the frame. You gave your power away just to feel seen. But silence is when the shift happens, when you don't argue. They start questioning themselves. When you don't chase, they start wondering what they lost. When you don't defend yourself, they realize they never had control over you to begin with, because true influence isn't proven in your words. It's revealed in your restraint. Your silence doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care too much about your peace to cheapen it with a reaction. It means you've finally learned you don't owe closure to anyone who caused confusion. You don't owe clarity to anyone who thrived in chaos. You don't owe yourself to anyone who couldn't see your value when you were fully present. So when the world pulls at you to respond, explain, perform, don't. Because your silence holds more weight than their noise, and your distance says more than your words ever could. In silence, you speak power. In silence, you reclaim your energy. In silence, you let your results speak in a language their ego can't interrupt. So stay quiet. Let them wonder. Let them regret. Let them realize they lost something they'll never be close to again. And when they finally understand what your silence really meant, you'll be long gone. Not bitter, not broken, just untouchable.